Hey, what's up? This is Reed. Now that CES is over, I've had some time to set up more advanced automations around my apartment. I'm excited to show you these, and they're not just for apartments. You could set them up anywhere. I try to make these automations very practical and family friendly, so hopefully they give you some ideas for automations in your home. The first one actually comes from a challenge idea submitted by Chris. The idea is to have a morning routine based on your calendar since it may change day to day. I was able to connect my Google Calendar to my smart home and run automations based on events. This has been a game changer. Now I can automatically be woken up at a certain time before my first event, or from a wake-up time I set in the calendar. It's always been annoying if you have to change your morning wake-up routine if your schedule slightly changes, and this just makes it way easier. It's not too difficult to set this up in Home Assistant, but there are some steps you have to go through, and I'll link how to do it in an article down below. This wake-up automation only runs if I'm in bed at that time. That way if I got up early or I was out of town, the automation is skipped and it doesn't annoy anyone. I'm using the Withings sleep sensor for this, and I really like this device. My morning wake-up automation starts off with music playing softly and the volume slowly increasing over time. Then if I still haven't gotten out of bed, the Echo Dot starts yelling at me.
Reed, get your lazy butt out of bed. Touch me and I will scream.
Yeah, it's been pretty effective at waking me up. If you've seen my dog Luna, you could probably guess she is the worst guard dog ever, so I have to take things into my own hands. Amazon Guard has a paid feature to make noises while you're away, but I was able to set this same functionality up for free. Now, if my wife Allie and I are away and there's motion at the front door, noises will be played on the speakers inside to make it seem like someone is there. I need the home and away feature to be reliable for this, so I'm using the Wi-Fi connection to our phones as a presence sensor. It's not perfect because our phones can disconnect from Wi-Fi late at night, but adding parameters to only run this automation during the day fixes that. Plus, Allie doesn't need to have a specific app running on her phone for this to work, so it's a great solution. I've always wanted music to follow me around room to room. I've easily been able to play music everywhere at the same time, but being in an apartment with neighbors, I don't want to always blast music. If I'm the only one in the house during the day and music is playing, the motion sensor in the room will move my music for me. This is one of those automations that feels magical when it happens. I want to improve this automation to know that it's me in the room and not someone else, so if you know of a good solution for that, then let me know down in the comments. For automatic lighting, I have a Hue motion sensor magnetically attached to the refrigerator. I use the light sensor in it to make sure there's always enough light in the room. I also use the temperature sensor to alert me if it ever gets too hot or cold in the apartment. I wish I had a smart thermostat in here, but since I'm in an apartment, this was the next best thing. Of course, you can use the motion sensor in it as well, plus I have a Hue remote next to it, and it's always important to have buttons or switches to control smart lights for family members. That way you're not always relying on sensors. One of my New Year's resolutions is to use my phone less while I'm hanging out with my family.
Yeah, Pikachu is my favorite Pokemon. Dad, did you know that I'm not following your YouTube channels anymore?
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. So I thought of a solution to do two things at once. I have a wireless charger in the kitchen with an NFC tag on the back near the top. It's a strong NFC tag so my phone can read it when I place it on the charger. That way when it's dinner time, I can place my phone on the charger and a Spotify playlist will start playing softly while we eat. It's a really simple automation, but I like it because it helps me be a better dad and husband. In my apartment tour, I showed my lights changing when my TV turns on or off. The Samsung TV kept disconnecting from SmartThings, which is kind of ridiculous since they're both from Samsung. Come on! So I went back to using a smart outlet to measure the energy to know if the TV is on. Now when the TV turns on, the kitchen lights turn off, and if I get up for a snack, the lights turn on at a dim brightness for only 1 minute, and then the lights turn off again. That way it's not distracting when you're watching a show. I also improved the lights in my office since the last tour video. I showed how I have an NFC tag to toggle the lights on and off. Now when I turn them on, it will automatically change the colors depending on the time of day. I mainly use the motion sensor now, and it has the same logic with the colors and time of day as well. However, I made some small tweaks to the motion sensor automation to be more user-friendly. Normally I have the motion sensor turn off the lights if there is no motion. But I can be sitting at the computer for a while and that can get annoying if it doesn't sense motion, so I turned off that feature. Now I have a button on my dashboard to slowly fade off the lights when I leave the office. Also, the motion sensor only turns on the lights if they have been off for over a minute. That way I can walk out of the room without triggering them. I've been using a smart home dashboard on this Amazon tablet and I really like it. Side note, I'm working on a smart home dashboard video that's coming up soon, so make sure you have the notifications turned on for this channel. To show the live view of my doorbell on the tablet, I always had to say the voice command. Turns out there is a way to automatically display the live feed from any video doorbell that's connected to the Amazon Assistant. Create a routine and have the doorbell press be the trigger. Then for the action, have a custom command to display the live feed where you want it to show. This should be a good solution to have something like the Eufy doorbell automatically display the live view. I first saw this used on Automate Your Life's channel, so shout out to Brian for showing me this. At night, I'm using the Withings sleep sensor again to turn off the lights when I get into bed. If I get out of bed to go to the bathroom or grab a drink, the sensor turns on my lamp to a very warm white at 1% brightness. Then the light turns off when I climb back in bed. I know some of you in the comments will say, turn the light red to keep your natural eyesight night vision. But I think if my wife woke up and I wasn't next to her and the light was red, it would be a recipe for disaster.
Reed?
I set up almost all of these automations in Home Assistant, which has been a really fun challenge. But I'll continue to make videos using automations in SmartThings, Amazon, HomeKit, because I like trying out all the different platforms. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again next time. All right, since my phone's on the charger, this is a great time to talk about Home Assistant. See, I'm trying to decide if it should be Node Red, even though it's a little more complex, or if I should use the inbuilt...
We had enough, Dad. Just take it back.